Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're back. So of course I'm just going to be running through real quick the supplies I'm going to be using today. Anna is back. We waited too long for fills, so she ended up taking her nails off. I don't know how she took them off. I'm pretty sure she just pulled them off, so you will see some damage coming up. So I wanted to show the removal from a distance instead of up close so you can see how gentle it is, because I always use this really, 5-course bit on a high speed, but I usually film it up really close, and I wanted to show you it from a distance so you can see how gentle it really was. I'm just going to soak off that last little bit so I don't have to change bits and get really close to her natural nail while I go in with the prep for the rest of her set. So I'm just going to push back the cuticles, and then I'm going to go in with my favorite Kiara Sky bit and take off any dead skin around her nail plate. Sorry, I was looking at that. Yeah, there is some damage, and you can see she no longer works at the restaurant. This is Anna, my daughter. She had the Red Valentine's set on like a month ago. So she no longer works at the restaurant. She'll be getting her real estate license, which I'm so proud of her, and I think she's going to smash that. So literally the first week she had these on, she jammed her hand. Tell me, guys, if you've had long nails on and you've stuck your hand straight out, like you reach into the refrigerator, so you're doing a straight out reach, but you're going fast or hard, and you like jam all 4 of your fingers to where it feels like you've shoved your fingernails into your elbow, like really. So she did that on like the first day. None of them lifted, none of them came off, but it hurt really bad. So I knew she was going to have like some damage like on her nail. Once her nails came off, I knew, since they didn't lift, something had to give. So it was probably her flesh. So you'll see on her ring finger of her right hand, so the next hand we do, it was that got it the worst, the poor thing. So she jammed her hand in that manner, reaching for something at work. So hopefully this set she won't have to hurt herself with them on, because she's not working in that rough environment anymore. And as usual, her cuticles are quite dry, so there's always a lot of cleanup to do. I don't really know if that's just if she needs to put some more like cuticle oil daily or something. I don't know. She's a single mom of 2 small kids, so I doubt she'll be worrying about cuticle oil every day. But I'm just going to kind of talk through this prep a little bit, because it's the same typical usual prep. So throughout this video, it's a little bit longer today, you guys, because throughout this video I am going to show you some good shaping tips. I kept the filing in, and sometimes I keep filing in, especially when I'm doing a human client that's not myself and it's not a pop-off method. By the way, you guys can see the nails that I have on, which in my last, I think it was my last video, I did these nails, and I am more than sick of them. Here's the nail I'm talking about. You can see where it lifted up. So when I put the tip on next, I won't forget what I was talking about. I do squirrel. If you guys watch, I get distracted easy. So obviously that nail lifted up off of her flesh. So you see how the tip is on there? I am going to put a little extra glue on, and when I go in with her, with my bead of clear, I'm going to fill that in. So what I'm doing here is blending in the tips, so I will rub my fingers over them to feel if any of them are not level or flush. And I don't do this too much, I just do it very lightly, because I am going to go in with clear, a layer of clear, and so that will even that out. And now I'm going to size the tips. I'm going to stop rattling off what I'm doing here, because I want to get back to what I was saying. I'm sick of these nails. My plan was, I'm tired of not having nails, okay? I have 2 practice hands and I have clients. So if I want to wear nails, I shouldn't have to constantly be doing pop-off sets for content. I have plenty of other ways to make content. Plus I have some unboxings that are just sitting there that I'm dying to open that I want to do. You should always be filing nails from this angle. It's impossible to get on camera, so it's a strange, like, scene for you guys, but I wanted you to get the point at least of what this means. When nail techs say you need to turn the hand around to do it from the client's angle, this is what they mean. I always, after I've done pre-shaping, I will always ask the client to show me their nails again, because what if I filed an extra 1/4 inch off of one, not paying attention, and now they're shorter, one's shorter than the other. I also clean up after I've done any filing. Those dental bibs are cheap, so I just replace them. These are the acrylics I'm going to be using today. Oh, we're past prep. We're starting to get into the set, so I feel like I need to talk about it. This is my Kara Sky acrylic primer. I never showed on the other hand, which was dumb, me putting the bead of clear on that ring finger. Sorry, you guys, but I did. I put a little primer like this on, and then I filled it in with clear, just like I'm doing here, but I just made sure that that gap that was between her natural nail and the tip on the ring finger that I slowed down and showed you guys was filled up. Okay, anyway, so I wanted some nails on, and I thought I'll do nude, because on top of nude, I can do some Frenchies. I could take the top coat off, and I can do some marble with some blooming gel. I can do pigments. There's a lot of stuff I could do on a nude set, so let's do that. And this nude matches my skin perfectly, and I thought they looked great like the day I did them. I literally can't stand looking at them. I don't know why that's my thing, but that's why I don't keep nails on. I don't know why I trick myself every time. So once I get the unboxings done, the videos that I want to do, I have 2 unboxings, a third one in the mail, so there'll be 3 unboxings, and I need to do a liquid to powder ratio video. So we'll see how much tolerance I can have between needing to do those videos and getting my nails off. I don't think I'm going to take them off. I think I'm going to do a cute set like this, because why waste all the time and damage my nails putting a set on just to take them off? Maybe I'll just change them. So I haven't decided yet, but yeah, I'll let you guys know, obviously, with the video. But yeah, don't look at my nails. They're actually okay, but I'm just sick of them. So this is going to be the Mad Love acrylic. Obviously, I am going to be, I'm using my Kara Sky brush, which I love. I'm definitely used to. She's a beauty. She's fierce. I love her. She's just sexy, period. But I do switch back to my Young Nails brush for a few things. I'm not sure if I can describe to you why I'm using the Young Nails brush for some things in this video, because I can't remember if I have it like in my mind. Like, oh yeah, I needed it for that, cuticle bead on the pinky, or like for whatever reason. I can't remember why. So if I notice it in the video, I'll tell you. But if you see me using it, it's just because I felt like I needed to grab it. Also, another thing I want to mention is Anna does not like a hump for an apex. She doesn't like it. She wants her nails flat. So if you feel like that was me showing her and asking her if that was the right shape she wanted, because there needs to be somewhat of an apex, but so I put as much on as I can. But if they look flat to you, or like they don't have the correct structure, it's the way she likes them, and she's not going to walk around with that apex. Now, I do naturally build her an apex on this pinky, so when it comes to filing, now I remember. So when it comes to filing, you'll see me literally take the apex off. Okay, here's where I made a mistake, you guys. This nail, both of her ring fingers are color blocking nails. So I should have started at the top, but I started at the bottom, because since I was using the solid color, my brain just went right to, oh, I'm building a solid nail. So I just started building it, because, we're talking and everything. So I think, okay, no problem. I'll just build this out, Well, no. If you notice that the top of that bead, top meaning where the middle meets, it looks like an ombre. It's blended. So when I put my bar of glitter in the middle of the color block, there's going to be a shadow behind it, because the tip isn't clear behind it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I didn't even notice it until she told me, and I still didn't understand what she meant. I thought there was acrylic under the nail, and I'm like, that's okay, I'll get it filed off. She's like, no, it's under the acrylic. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'll file it off. And she's like, no. It's under there. And then I realized, oh, it's because I did that I effed up. It's because I started that nail wrong. So when you're doing a color block, especially if it's just like a bar, you need to start at the top. You need to build your nail from the top, and that is why I'm using the Young Nails brush, by the way, because I wanted a sharp, stiff brush that works better in smaller areas. So that's what I'm doing here. Got that out. So yes, I was talking about her not wanting or liking the apex look, and a nail has to have it, so I end up making her nails, I wouldn't say thick, but I don't know, you guys will see. Sorry, sometimes when I randomly stop, the music's playing in the background. So on this color blocking, it's pretty self-explanatory, like what I'm doing as far as how it's being shaped. But obviously you're going to want to use drier beads because you want them to stay in place. And besides making the straight lines, you need to know when your powder, since you're using a dry bead, you need to know when your powder is getting ready to harden because you can't play with it anymore. So you need to have your, blocking done by the time before your powder is dry. And what really helps you get them the same level is to do the dragging motion that I was doing up and down. So you make sure your lines are crisp, and then blend and fade that bead up or down, whichever way you're working. Because what I learned when I did my first few color blocks was I thought to myself, okay, this glitter I can put on the thinnest, I'm talking about the barb glitter in the middle of the color block. I can make this glitter way thinner as long as I get some glitter in there. Since I have to cap and fill it with clear, I don't need it to be level with the rest of the acrylic. And that's true as far as it doesn't need to be perfectly level, but if you just put enough there for it to be seen, it's going to look really strange because the clear is going to look funny, like from the side. It's just going to be really, really obvious that there's more clear than other colors, if that makes sense. And while I was talking, I built that pinky nail with just glitter. And I don't know if you noticed, but she did get an apex there, so you'll see later that I have to take that off. This one I'm doing much more flat, and I don't know if you notice, but a lot of times, see how I'm doing that downward motion with her hand? First of all, this is sped up. So I do the downward motion because the nail needs to be, downward for acrylic for gravity to do its job. So while this is sped up twice, it looks like I'm flicking her hand down, but really I'm just holding it down to wait for the acrylic to flow, kind of like you can see here. And the name of the game, like I have mentioned before, is patting. So once you get the acrylic on the nail, you just want to pat it and keep it in place and move it to where you want it to be until you feel the resistance, like right here as I'm patting it, I can feel it firming up and it starts giving me a little pushback. Then I know that I can start pulling it down without pulling it off the nail. And that's how you smooth it out and start getting your shape. And I love cutting it off at the end. I just don't feel like I've completed a nail or that it's going to look snatched or right if I don't get it all the way to the tip and pull it off a little bit. And can I just say one more time, I know it's probably super duper old by now, but the knot polish, do you see how this acrylic is performing? Like there's zero problems, zero marbling, zero running. It just does exactly what I want it to. I just don't see any reason to buy any other product on earth whatsoever. It's just my favorite. I mean, every time I put a bead down, especially of a like creamy color like this one, it just literally makes me want to stop what I'm doing right now and go to my nail room and start making nails. So in my last video, I showed you guys that I bought some Mia Secret Clear, which I've never bought or used before. And I had mentioned I couldn't wait to see how well it worked doing capping on glitter nails or nails that needed clear. And look at this, I tell you what. I just got done saying there's no need to buy anything but not polish. And here I am bragging about me a secret. But I've never used it before. And I still don't know how clear it stays because this wasn't really a clear set. So I don't know if it yellows or anything like that, or if it stays cloudy or anything. But these didn't cloud up this design at all. And it dries fast, so it's just great for capping the nails because it's not running everywhere. You can literally push it into the glitter so it's really, really it's really sealing it, and without having a whole bunch on there, if that makes sense. Like, if you can see her pinky nail from the side, it's not all thick, but you can see how much clear I put on. Like, I really capped it and really... And here's another one where this is just a glitter nail, so it needs a good amount of clear on it, but I don't want it to look thick and nasty. And the best way to handle that is to make sure you're pushing it in, like right here, pushing it in. And this acrylic is giving it back to me. It's asking me to push it. You see how fast it's drying? I love it. And it gives me that really good, satisfying clip off at the end that I love too. So I am going to reserve my judgment 100% until I do a clear set with it, like flower encapsulation or something. But as of now, 5-star. Loving it. I really like it. And I've said this before, not polish colored acrylics don't need to be capped, but I just love doing it. And look at that, it just makes the whole thing just look, like, I don't know. It just makes it look good. I heard V say that once, and I wondered what she was talking about, and I thought, how does it change anything? It's clear. And I don't know that it actually does change anything. I feel like, especially when you're building a nail with multiple beads, if you are able to put one big fat bead of clear and push it in and pull it down like this is letting me do, it does give it that one smooth look. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Okay, so we are on the other hand now, and for the most part I was able to do, I don't want to say a 2-bead method because I definitely add beads as I go. Like, this might right here look like I only need 2 beads because when I'm done with this, I'll just put, an apex on and be done. But I don't really do that. And I don't really count how many beads I use ever. I just build the nail. So that's another thing I don't want you guys to beat yourself up about, because when I first started learning, I was, real specific and particular about paying attention to what I was learning. As far as like watching V, let's say, you're going to wipe, half of the monomer out of your brush and tap 2 times in the acrylic, and then you're going to pick up a medium bead with that. And you're going to need to start your nail right where the tip and the natural nail meet and use a medium bead for that. And it was just like all of that, it stressed me out, where now it's just so much more muscle memory where I can just get right into putting the acrylic where I feel like it needs to go, where it looks good, where it needs to be. And if my bead is wet, I handle it. I'll either swipe it off or hold it on there until it works for me. Or like if I want to do a big fat one like this and drag it all the way down, but that doesn't give me a whole nail, and so then I need to add a little more for the apex or a little more at the tip, whatever. And I don't think I showed this whole nail because it kept blurring out, because it kept catching, the camera wanted to focus on my hand instead of like the hand with my brush. No, I think I did keep it in. So if it's blurry, sorry about that. Yeah, there it's clear. And now it's blurry. Oh boy. Yeah, and then there were some little particles of I don't know what in the top right corner of her nail there. I don't know what that is. Glitter, or I really don't know. But I don't show it, but I did get that. I did end up noticing it and flicking it out of her nail. Maybe it was coming from my hand. I don't know what that was. Anyway, so a few times later on, not too later, but next when I'm doing filing, I will stop the video, like freeze the frame, to show you guys some examples of the angles that you need to have your files at. Some other things that I'm doing. I'm talking quietly because it's midnight and my wife's asleep because she has to get up and work a real job, an important job. I used to have a real important job. You guys, I am starting to feel the struggle too because I still have double pneumonia, I still have blood clots on my lungs, and I need to get back to work. I'm leery of getting a job because, like, a job besides nails, because I've always had a job besides nails. I don't know. So this was the nail that had the lifting, as far as her natural nail lifting away from her skin, that I told you I filled in with clear. And I'm going to do a color block here. So she's actually going to have like a triple strength right there. So I really hope this nail will be okay, because as you saw, the tip was not glued on. But this is the one that I did fill in with a little bit of glue and then the rest with clear. When you're doing a color blocking, you're going to want to check multiple times, because I'm still manipulating it here. So I checked my original level, and I'm going to need to check it again, and I'm going to need to check it when I do the bar of glitter to see how wide that bar is, and I'm going to need to check it again to see how wide the pink is at the bottom. So that's what we're doing here. I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, going back to work, I'm worried about that because if I commit myself to a job or to anything, it's 110%. I'm not comfortable, like, applying for a job, getting an interview, reassuring the manager, because I've been a manager for years, reassuring the manager that, yes, I'll be here for every single shift. Yes, you can count on me. Yes, I'll work 50 hours a week. Yes, I can work graveyards. Like, whatever it takes, that's me. I'm your girl. Like that's who I am at work. Well, I can't say that now. I can't count on my health. I can't count on my energy level. Just anything. It's whack. Okay, it's just completely whack. And I remember seeing some videos maybe a year ago where people couldn't say the word COVID. I don't know if that's still a thing, but I just said it. I got it twice, and the second go around just put me down. Okay, so yeah, I had to resign from my 10-year job because of it, and I'm still sick, and getting disability would be like a 7-year fight, like an absolute battle, from what I've heard, from what I've been told. I've been told, go get an attorney first. I've been told, don't get an attorney first, because the attorney's going to tell you that you don't need an attorney until you've already fought your own battle, that there's nothing they can do until you've already exhausted everything you can do. I've also heard the Social Security office is closed and you can't even apply. You have to do everything online, and then just blah, 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 blah. So, it's certainly not something that's going to happen in the next month or two when I need income more than nails. And how much effort do I put into nails when I love it, but it's not at this point supporting me, So I don't know. There's just a lot going on in my mind, and I don't know. That was just a little tidbit for y'all. I don't remember why I started talking about that. Right, I started talking about that because I said my wife has to get up for her real job, because I'm feeling some kind of way that I don't have a real job, which, yeah, definitely part of my self-worth comes from, like, being a worker bee and being responsible, and, like, that's always been me. I don't need anything from anybody. I am very independent, and it's just part of my fiber. And so, yeah, it's not sucked so far, because I had savings, and I make money with other things, but I don't know. I got to handle that. So anyway. I also wanted to mention, I told you guys when I'm moving the nail down, it's for gravity, but you'll also see me, like, it looks a little bit weird, especially sped up. that I'll like circle the nail around. It's because I'm looking at the angles, okay? So being sped up does make it look a little silly, like I'm just, you know, twirling the nail for absolutely no reason, but I am looking at it from every angle. So, isn't this color beautiful, that pink color, Mad Love? I know everyone's probably on fire about the glitter. I'm not really that much of a glitter person. And Not Polished did just post a set with this glitter on Instagram a couple days ago. It's, you know, called Role Play. And it's a pretty popular glitter. I've had people ask me about it. So I bought it, and then no one asks to use it. So I'm glad Anna asked to use it because it is really pretty. But for me, I like the creamier colors better. I just thought the pink was the on fire color for me. So here we go into the filing. You guys notice the angle of the file. I showed you at the beginning that I had keep, as I've mentioned many times before, and I want to say this too. In my videos, I usually say, as I've mentioned on another video, I don't say that to imply that you should know that because you should have watched my other videos. I say that because I feel like if I don't say that, then I'm just sounding really repetitive. Like, let's just say you do watch all my videos. And here I am saying again, here's what you should do. So I'm saying it for the new people, or even if you're not new, maybe you didn't catch that part of the video or whatever. So maybe I'll stop saying that. I don't know. But you've got to watch the angle of your file, like super duper important. So throughout this filing process, I'll be showing you guys, you need to be moving your client's hand all around, looking down the barrel of the nail, and you definitely need to be holding your client's finger. There are some parts of the filing that I have in here that normally I would cut out because you're seeing more of my hand than the nail, but in this case, I wanted you to see my hand. I wanted you to see the movement of my hand, even though it's kind of blocking what's happening to the nail, and you'll get what I mean by that a little bit later. So, filing from left to right and right to left, yeah, you should do that, and it covers a lot of space on the nail, but I feel like I can feel much better when I do this. And I know everyone has like their own little way of filing, but for me, I just wanted to show you how thick that nail was and how I'm going to solve it later. And also the edge was nice and straight. That's what you're looking for. You want that edge to be straight. This is one of the examples I'm talking about. See how flat that is? So that example was the footage showing the file coming right up towards you like this. You're not trying to look at my hand, but I want you to see the motion that my hand is doing. Normally I would cut that out because you can't see the nail. This I would normally cut out but then you're not getting the whole essence of how to get this shape. You have to do, in a coffin nail, you have to do that. You have to do this to get that edge straight. And once that's straight, you need to do that motion I was just doing. I'm probably going to do it again right here. See how I'm angling that toward the top? Because I need to make that right here toward the top at an angle because I'm thinning out her tip. Even though that was a coffin tip, there's acrylic on there, it's always going to need to be thinned out again. That was one example. I guess I'll talk until I slow it down again, but there's another angle that you need to have, is that 45-degree angle. And here's another thing. So I'm sorry that it just shows my hand like wildly coming up. So right here I slowed this down. I want you guys to guess which nail I think needs to be filed. Which one am I going to shape? Which one needs it? Yep, if you guess the middle one, you're right. So when I was doing the editing, I thought, because I saw myself look at all the nails, and I thought, well, that could be a teaching moment, just to you should be looking at all the nails when you, obviously we're not done filing, but when you are, you think you're getting close or you think your shape's looking pretty good, you should be doing that. You should be touching, running your fingers over and eyeballing all the nails. Not just because, you're really hyper-focused on this edge right now, so to speak, or the cuticle area. You're really like detail hyper-focused on the one nail you're doing right now. So you do need to take that step back and look at them all and see where you need to go. And that's what I'm doing here, and I also don't usually show that. And at least here you're not just seeing my file and my hand in your face, you can actually see what I'm doing with the file. So I'm using this bit today because I took it out to do that little cut that I just took off of the free edge, the C-curve area, which I'll show again on the other nails. But when I had it out, I was like, this is perfect for the cuticle, so I'll do the cuticles too. And then since it's got a wide barrel, I started taking my scratches out, like I just did there, running it across the whole nail, like right here. And it worked so good because I've probably hardly never used this bit, and it was really sharp, and it just boom, boom, did the trick. So I just did the whole nail with it, and it came out great. So right here I'm sealing the cuticles, and again, going over the whole nail. And then I'm going to take it, and remember I said I'd show you how I thinned out this nail. I did it a little bit more, obviously, after that, but that's how you get your C-curve and your shape back without ruining the shape that you just did on the top of your nail. And earlier when I said that I was filing it up, I never know what to call it, but I don't mean up toward the knuckle. I mean, if you're looking down the barrel of a nail and you can see the C-curve, I'm talking about the top of the arch of the C-curve. So the top of the nail, like where you would put bling, that arch, I just don't know what to call it, I guess. So here's where I'm going to take that apex down. But I meant to say angling it in to get your coffin shape back. That's what I meant, not up. So here I'm really got to take that apex off to make her nails match. And that's all. I just took that off a little bit. This bit lets you get right in there. And it does a great job. And I actually like the shape that Anna likes. When she first started showing me how she likes, what shape she likes, I thought, oh no, they just look too flat and it needs more of an apex. And for me, I definitely need an apex, not as much as I used to like, but you guys look at her ring finger if you can, and you'll see that blur because I left that pink under there. Talking about where her glitter is. I don't know if there's another opportunity to see it, but yeah, it's no good. Oh, here we go. I want you guys to see this. That is not straight. So to straighten it out, I'm going to keep my file. Did you notice how I kept my file straight until that evened out? So you don't want to angle your file and go after that one spot that was out of line. You want to keep your file straight until your nail meets the other part of your file. If that doesn't make sense, just take it back, watch it again. Keep your file straight until the crooked part meets your file, because you want it to come to the file, not to you. So if you were to angle that, you're going to make it crooked again, if that makes sense. So here, even though I'm going to start filing again, I just can't tolerate the mess. I already had the mess from applying the acrylic and the monomer, and then I had all that dust, so I just clean it up. I just get another one. And sometimes I'm going too fast, or I'm trying to hurry through a set, or I think I'm taking too long and I don't want to make my client do anything to make the set take longer, so sometimes I don't replace that. I guess it kind of depends on my mood, but I'm always wanting it replaced. So with my daughter, I definitely feel comfortable enough to do all the steps that I need to do. And I know I do stop the video again one more time, maybe more, but one time specifically I'm thinking of. And this nail looks too thick too, so once I get the shape right, I am going to do that little trick to thin out the free edge. Anyway, stop it to show you guys how you should be always, if you're filing, if you're really going in on filing, or if you're using your e-file, you need to make sure to hold your clients. I mean, you can see I'm really holding her hand. Every time I let go of my fingers, you can see like the white spots from where I was holding her hand so tight. The rest of this hand really isn't in frame, which is lovely. So I think this might be the end of the filing. So maybe I missed where I stopped it earlier to show you guys that you should be holding onto your client's hand. But yeah, that's important, so that your filing doesn't just jar. I don't know if you've ever been to a salon where someone wasn't conscious of what they were doing to you and not holding onto your hand. Also, see how much better this nail looks that I just took out that little C-curve area, because that was pretty thick a minute ago, right? And it doesn't look thick on the rest of the nail because she doesn't have like a big apex or anything else. What was I saying? Oh yeah, when a nail tech just isn't conscious of you, and you can feel your fingernail being shoved into your knuckles, like with their filing, because they're not holding your hand. So make sure to hold your client's finger in place so you're taking most of the impact. And another thing, this was the first set that I've ever done that my hand started cramping. And I thought, oh no, we're not going to start that. We're just not going to start it. Because I'm going to be 52 in 2 months, and trust me, I already have enough random, weird, ridiculous body aches. I just can't. So right here we're putting on some charms, and I do use my little flower lamp because you see they slide around, right? So I do use my flower lamp to get those on before I put it in the lamp. I know lots of people like the reveal. I am using Young Nails Ultimate Finish Gel for this. For the most part, it went on okay, and someone did comment that I should be using Protein Bond right before this step to get it to not separate when you have a really smooth nail, which is a fabulous tip, fabulous idea, so thank you for that. Whenever I'm done with the top coat, I always snatch the end back up. I don't know if I ever show that either, but I always do a quick little file of the edge to get off that rounded top coat look. I don't think I ever get my nails as good looking as some of the Instagram pictures. I was talking to another nail tech today about that. I don't know how to solve the free edge rounded look that all gel top coats give you, which is why I've been trying the Young Nails top coat lately, because it's thinner. Although gloss, it goes on better, lasts longer, and it is my favorite. I was trying to switch it up there a little bit. Also, I'm using Zula's glue for the bling. And here's the set, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I removed the music from my TikToks so we don't get copyrighted. And thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you love the set. Bye. See you next time. I'm going to do some unboxings next.